Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at the Black Diamond section of Unit 5. In the Black Diamond section, says I can model the carbon cycle and define all of the processes within the carbon cycle. Quite a bit of vocabulary within this unit, so you're going to want to make sure you're staying on top of that. Task 1 is a set of notes on the carbon cycle. It's 3 pages long, so you're going to tape each page separately into your notebook. And then you'll use this video to fill out all of the blanks in the notes. Task 2 is a crossword puzzle, again, using a lot of the vocabulary. So these processes like photosynthesis, consumption, right? All those processes are going to be within this word search. So you'll use the across clues and down clues to fill out this crossword puzzle. Not a word search, sorry, it's a crossword puzzle. Task 3 is a gizmos. It's the Explore Learning Gizmos on the carbon cycle. There's not a document that you need to complete here. However, you do need to go through the activity and go through as many different tracks for carbon as you can. So this will show you the path on the left-hand side, and then you can see different models of the carbon cycle, and you can change some of the values. You don't need to play with this one as much. You're going to focus more on the path. So you can start with atmospheric carbon and then go through and see where it goes. When I'm screen sharing here, my mouse is off, but you just kind of track through. So you can go from atmospheric carbon to oceanic carbon, and it'll give you some information about that process, and then it'll show you the other places that it can go. So now it's showing from the oceanic carbon, we can end up in the biosphere and animals with shells or coral. And then we could go either back to the ocean from here, or those animals could die and become a part of the geosphere when they form rocks like limestone. So you can just see how you can go through this. And my challenge to you is every time you make a change in this path, think about what sphere, right? Is it the hydrosphere? Are we in the biosphere? Are we in the geosphere? Are we in the atmosphere? Where are we going here? Lithosphere would obviously still be a part of the geosphere. Land plants. Now we're into, sorry, I clicked on exposed rock, geosphere still. If you ended up in the volcano, where are you going? So think about which of those 4 spheres we've been talking about are you in as you follow this path through carbon. You can always reset and start over at different places too. So you can always click on any of the places that are kind of blinking and glowing as well. So see if you can trace a lot of those paths and think, what sphere am I in as I go through that activity. Task 4 is a Google Classroom assignment called Carbon Cycle Cause and Effect. And when you go through this, you have to think about if one part changes in the carbon cycle, how is that going to affect the rest of the carbon cycle? So it's that cause and effect. And it says use complete sentences. So example 1, when we cut down trees in a forest, where would you now see an increase in carbon? And then explain why. So I'll give you one example here, right? If we cut down trees, well, if we think about the processes involving carbon with trees, it's mostly photosynthesis. Plants and trees do photosynthesis, which is pulling carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and bringing it into the biosphere as sugar. If the trees can no longer do that, we're pulling less carbon out of the atmosphere. So you could see an increase in atmospheric carbon. So you could argue that you would see an increase in carbon in the atmosphere, right? We're talking about our 4 spheres because the trees are no longer doing photosynthesis. If that tree decomposes or fossilizes and that carbon ends up in the soil or in a rock, you might also see an increase in the geosphere. So there's a couple different places you could argue here, but the important thing is that you're supporting your answer with why you would see that increase. And then we have other questions like if you switch from fossil fuels to solar energy, how would that impact carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? Got to think about when fossil fuels, we do combustion. When water dissolves carbon dioxide, it becomes acidic. Think about how that can affect different things in the ocean. So you're just going to go through these causes and effect. And if you can do this, it will really demonstrate your knowledge around the carbon cycle. And that's the last task. So then you would show me your notebooks, and then you would take the level up quiz. And that will be it for Black Diamond. Thanks for watching.